thrilled to be here. I'm excited, and I hope I can really do justice to your time, taking away from your family. And thank you, Raj. Thank you, everybody who was able to put it together. I'm a very small guy. I just tried to do my own things. And about 2-3 years back, I got into the media, and I got more and more and more exposure, and so forth. So what we'll do is, if you can drive a little bit of my thing here. It's not hand-driven, right? Yeah. Maybe just the very first slide. I came to this country, just to say, some of you might know my story, $7. We could go up, all the way up. Yeah, maybe this slide, right? Okay, there we go. Just this brief one. I'm going to be actually using most of my talk is going to be, can you all hear me in the back? Yeah, okay. It's going to be mostly what questions you ask, and we're going to make it very interactive and make sure that I cover everybody's points and things like that. Just a humble beginning. I grew up in New Delhi, India, with 6 siblings, actually, in 1-bedroom apartment. Had no refrigerator, had no telephone, just one radio we had, and just like that, right? So I became a mechanical engineer. Then I came out here to America with the land of opportunity to do my MBA at George Washington University, right there back east in Washington, D.C. And that's where I started my career in selling books. I sold Bible books and encyclopedias door to door to make money, to pay for my tuition. And that really converted me from an engineer to a sales guy. It's amazing. That's about 40-some years back. And I said, oh my gosh, I always wanted to be an engineer, but I enjoy being out in the public and out, talking to people and things like that. Can you go further? If you don't mind, maybe. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. So maybe you can go to that first one. Yeah. Oh, no, second. That's okay. Okay, all right. Where is that slide, which was the $7 one? You see? Oh, yeah, David, this one. So this thing you could come with me on that one with the George Washington University. Then I sold Bibles and things like that. And then I became a motivational speaker. That's all I've been doing for all this time. And I started to invest in single-family homes, almost like 35 years back, and had a lot of single-family homes all over USA. There in California, by the way, I've been married 39 years, and we got married in 1980, Clinton and I, and we moved to San Francisco to expand my company's division. And that's where it just opened up the real estate in my mind with my friends and peers and things like that. That started my journey in single-family homes. But we bought in Georgia, we bought in Arizona, we bought in California, we bought in India, all these single-family. But then there was so much trouble because once the tenants left, there was a lot of overhead and cost involved, and also when somebody had a problem with the toilets and different things like that, the property management companies were charging the arm and a leg. So all that, the cash flow didn't make sense to me. So in 2004, by the way, I didn't know anything I'm talking to you right now, 15 years back. I didn't know nothing and nothing and nothing. But I learned it as an art of syndication, as the art of investing in multifamily. Now, let me kind of take you to multifamily. How many of you have owned multifamily or apartments, if I may get to? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So like maybe 10 units, 20 units, or anybody over 30 units, or like that? Yes, sir. Okay, fabulous, fabulous. So I think I may like to make a case of it. Being a logical mind, engineer mind, I said, oh my gosh, I have all these homes scattered all over different states, and I'm paying all these management companies their fees, and at the end of the day, it's not making me money, the cash flow. So that's when my mindset shifted. I said, how about if I have 20 homes in different parts of the state or different states, I can combine them in one place as an apartment, I'm still serving 20 families, households, but I have only 2 roofs to repair. 10 units here, 10 units there, right? So it just makes sense that, okay, why not? Let's just do it. And I also found out that I had to qualify for 20 different homes separately, different loans, different contracts, different everything. Here, one multifamily of 20 units, one transaction. I only had 1 loan to qualify, and I got a property management company to take care of that 20 units. It just made sense. It just made sense that, wow, oh my God, light bulb came up. Literally light bulb. And that's the history that I would like to go with. And now I control over $300 million. I came in this country with $7. A lot of us came with $7, that's the maximum you could bring at that time. But the key thing is that all those things, the multifamily, I would like to make a case because look, this is the elite of the elite of Clearwater right here. I want to really commend, Raj for, getting all the friends together here. The big thing is, see, the thing is, there are a lot of ramifications. When we are making a lot of money, we are paying a lot of money in taxes also. And the laws of USA for the rich are made for the people who own real estate. Let me say that again. The laws of the rich are made for real estate. I make millions of dollars, but guess how much I pay? 0. I pay legally 0 taxes. Literally 0 taxes. For many years, I've been paying 0 taxes, but making 2 million, 3 million, 4 million income. That's amazing. But it can happen in real estate only, because that's what you have probably heard also from our President Trump, as you all know, right? He even gave more bonuses and more depreciation. So what it is about is the depreciation loss. So what that is, the property is making money all the way till the bottom line, and the cash flow is going out, but then there is something called accelerated depreciation that comes into play, big minus number that makes the whole LLC go non-profit. Totally, in loss actually is the word, not non-profit, but loss. For example, we just purchased the property in Orlando. It's called Bentley at Maitland, by the way. This is my 27th syndication. That's the 27th one. And we bought it for $52 million. $14.4 million is the tax write-off. This year alone, $14.4 million. Oh my gosh. So actually we're going to make money. We just bought it June 27th of this year. We get a full deduction. We are giving cash flow to our investors who brought the money for the down payment. I'll kind of go over that a little bit. But the good part is that 70% of the loss is going to be going into the investors' K1. So even though they will make money in distributions, but their passive loss is going to be minus 600,000, depends how much money they put in, right? 14 million is the total. So 70% of that LLC flows through the investors, to the investor. 30% stays with the sponsors, like we put our name on the loan for $40 million loan and everything like that. The property was so good that Freddie and Fannie were fighting with each other. These are the two arms of the government who give loans, and they were fighting with each other to give us the loan. That's even pretty good, right? And then Freddie won because they gave us an $80,000 rebate for rate lock. Guess how much we are paying? 3.82%. For 10 years fixed. 10 years fixed with 5 years of interest only. So we never have to pay down the loan for 5 years. It's just interest only, 30-year amortized and all that, The good part is, let me kind of take you to a different angle now. So it's not only just the depreciation that helps, but it's also diversified. See, diversification is so big.
Depreciation, which is an active pass only we can take from the income. you will come as a non-active, right?
Yeah, you will come as
You
passive.
can't take a tax
So
benefit.
you cannot. Yeah, you will be accumulating it. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't get a tax benefit.
Yeah, you don't get the tax benefit. You do it in the IRA and things like that, which is called the self-directed IRAs, right? Retirement plans where you could put it and defer the taxes or defer the gains, I should say, for further. Exactly. But the other good part also, I would like to
Just you
share.
defer it, it is going to stay in a long term.
Defer means you're right. You know, when you're
Taxes may be higher down the line 10 years from here.
That's a good point too, exactly. But the good part is that you are accumulating the cash flow as the passive income, but when we sell the asset, it's a long-term capital gain. So you don't pay the 43% tax, you pay only 20% tax. So that's the another place, right? And then also the, what's that called? The passive loss can be carried till eternity, right? You know, you can do it, and then 1031 can come in, things like that. That's more with the CPA and all that.
Is it till eternity or 27 years?
Okay, no. 27 years and a half is the depreciation schedule. But for the tax loss, from what I'm not a CPA, but I thought it's unlimited. You could go as long as you can.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Passive income, yeah, you can offset it and carry the cash flow all the way.
All the way. But you're right, the schedule on the depreciation is 27 and a half years, yes sir, and 39 years, right? That's for the commercial, it's 39, but apartments come as the residential. So for the like-kind property, you can do 1031s and everything like that. And the good part is also, it's always there actually, the cost segregation piece. What that means is that the land doesn't depreciate, but we could take the structure and divide it by 27.5, then it's straight line depreciation. But we have components where we can have 5-year depreciation, first year depreciation that President Trump did for us. So that's going to be whole 100%, all the money that you put in CapEx, you can deduct it, and then 7.5 and 15.5. Like the property I just mentioned, the Bentley at Maitland, we just got the report. We paid $10,000 to a company where CPAs and the attorneys, they work, they look at all the different things in the property, in each unit and everything. So they showed us 14.4 million will be the loss taken this year out of that $52 million purchase that we just did. You know? So that's just one part. But let's go to diversification, right? You know, so that's the big part. How diversified are you with your stock market, mutual funds, precious metals, cryptocurrency, all that stuff, right? But how much are you in the real estate? The real estate which really will stay here for a long time. Let me make a case for it. Why apartments are great. In 2007 and 8, the rock bottom fell out, right, for everybody. The single family homes, the shopping centers, the airlines got hurt because the budgets got cut out, hospitality got hurt a little bit also because the people were not traveling that much, and then of course single family, as you know, derivatives and the back mortgages, it just fell apart, right? One thing that did not fall apart at that time was 2% delinquent foreclosure rate, 2%, as compared to 40 or 50% in the other place. So apartments are something that people will need shelter over their head. You know, I mean, if they lose their home, they have to stay somewhere. So apartments occupancy goes up. It's ridiculous. I mean, as the economy takes a downturn, the apartments take a better, position there, and the A-class residents, we call it residents in our communities, go to B class, B go to C, and so on, right? So it's a ripple effect over there. But the other factors which are really proposing that this is the best time to buy apartments is millennials. As you all know, the generation millennials and Y and Z, they are not really liking to buy the homes. They don't want to mow the lawn. They don't want to take care of, property taxes, all that. They are liking portability. they are liking to live in apartments with nice amenities and things like that. So there's a pent-up demand from the millennials, and also the baby boomers are downsizing, right? See, as they're retiring, they are downsizing, so they're selling their homes and they're getting into senior communities. So you can see that, both the angles where the pent-up demand is from the millennials, international. I know we don't get too much of the influx of foreigners because of Trump's all this different, but that will change, right? So immigration also, when people are coming in, they cannot have the stable income to qualify, don't have the down payment and all that. So that's the third component that goes into apartments also. So just to kind of give you humbly what I've done, my first apartment was 14 units. Simply 14 units, about 12 years back. And I bought it for $180,000. I didn't even have to syndicate, right? A little bit money, that's good. But I then got hooked on to 14. I said, let's go for 109. That was my next one. 109 units with 101 storage units. Then we went into, we started from actually right in the back. We have gone through the cycle in my company, up and down, because we started in Texas. And why Texas? We always go after jobs, jobs, and jobs. That's the key. The jobs, jobs, and jobs is the place, because that's where we will be able to earn idea. Thank you so much. See, as you can see, we have put statistically also all these graphs. You can, we can provide you the PowerPoint if you like to, like that. Raj can provide. But the big thing is, all I just mentioned verbally, it's all in, our charts also, which is statistically proven right there. The big thing is that, we want to go after jobs. So I really made a lot of money in Texas. I did 24 syndications. Now, what's syndication? Anybody knows? I'm sure a lot of you know syndication, right? Okay, syndication in a simple way is pooling of the money together of the like-minded people so that the money can buy bigger assets. Actually, the companies are also syndication too, because we buy shares, right? So syndication has been going on till all the time. So
Crowdfunding today.
Crowdfunding is a big one right now. Exactly. Crowdfunding where you can advertise and everything. You could do that totally. The big thing is, if some good syndicators, people like me and others, there are a lot of them, who have proven record, if you invest with them, they can take you and give you 18 to 26% per year. Why? Because you are equity investor partners. Okay, that's the three words I want to talk about. You are equity investor, you are not debt partner. You are not just giving you 200,000 or 100,000 or 500,000 and saying bye-bye and you give me the interest on that money. But you are getting the preferred return. Preferred return is amazing. What that means is, from the operation of the property, our investors will get paid first. The partners who are on the loan and everything, and signing all the things, organizers, they get paid the last. So that's very good. The other word is this SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. And I love that, because Securities and Exchange Commission is the watchdog on behalf of the investors to make sure that the syndicator is truthful, transparent, communicative, and making sure they're giving all the knowledge about the investment. And legally they are getting the money, putting into the accounts, and then giving the cash flows and no commingling of money, things like that. I've made like 5 companies, 2 acquisition companies and 2 management companies. I just felt like I don't want to give the family millions of dollars of loan. I don't want to give my fate in the hands of somebody else who's going to manage my properties. So that's what I started about 9-10 years back, and we have never looked back. So we have managed every single property of that 300 million that you see right from the start, and we do it same time right now. The 52 million one that we just got in Maitland, and then last week we got awarded for Princeton Park in Melbourne. Beautiful property, 35 million one. So we got that award, and we are seeing 4 exclusive off-market. When we say exclusive, means nobody has seen them yet because of the broker relationship. So we are seeing those tomorrow morning in Jacksonville. So we go there 7:30 in the morning, and then we tour at about 10 o'clock or so over there in Jacksonville also. So it's good to kind of, I would love to answer questions. I think that'll be the best thing, because that way, I just want to give some spectrum why multifamily is a good place. I hope you will go out tonight, after the meeting and say, maybe I need to dig into it a little bit, because I have made millions of dollars for my investors. I started with 0 investor, by the way, in Fremont, California, 0 investor. And then I got into having meetings like this 12 years back, 15 years, kind of teaching them, educating them. They bought my, program, my system or thinking, and they invested, and I've doubled their money and tripled their money. Because the highest I've given is 69.9% per year. The people who gave me money, I gave their money back in 3 to 4 years, plus they have made that much per year. And as close to as 43.3% per year. Just recently, in January, we sold the asset. So some people ask me, Vinney, have you done only good when the market was coming out of the, ashes? And, everybody would have done good. But we have done through the cycles also. And we have given 40% IRR for 6 years in a row. 6 years. So investors got their 100,000 back, plus they made 240,000 more. So they are the same investors who keep on putting money again and again and again. I raised like $7 million in 7 hours. Just the last holding I did. And this one I just did, the Princeton Park, we sold out. I only need to raise 5.5 million. I got 9.5 million commitments on my Google sheet, because we send out a survey that people just, I said, oh wow, we are oversold, so we'll have to see who gets to the paperwork quickly, who gets to the legal paperwork, and then wiring the money. So it's going to be by the time stamp of when the money comes in the bank, So that's how we do it. But then we have the waiting list going on always, But let me ask you a question. How many of you came tonight thinking that maybe multifamily is a good thing? Or maybe, you want to know more about it? Huh? Did you all? Okay. Anybody has read my book or anything? No. It's kind of news, right? Oh, you have. Thank you. We'll be giving out some books. I just wrote the book because being an engineer, it was very overwhelming for me when I started to learn the art of syndication. I spent about $160,000 just to learn from the best of the best in the nation. I took my team with me and all that. They charged me $30,000 here, $15,000 there. I just kept on paying. I said, I want to learn. I want to really know what, and it's really exciting that now I'm teaching, and not for $50,000 or $40,000. I think that's just too much, but very small fee of $2,500 or $5,000 or whatever. I teach everything and master coach also on the Wednesdays with my students like that. But please ask me some questions. What comes to your mind? We can go further and further. We can go into the value adds maybe. The strikes, these are all, again, tax right there, depreciation, we talked about it. No capital, please, yes sir. Yeah, sure.
You mentioned about tax deferred securities, and that's what it is, tax deferred.
No, it's a cash flow. You're getting cash flow in hand. If you're putting cash.
Taxes on that.
Yeah, you will pay.
Nothing is kind of, you can't save, you said you pay 0 taxes. You want to learn that.
Okay, 0 taxes is because, I'm so glad. That's a very good question. I love it. I can give some tricks here. I hope nobody's recording me here. Well, maybe we are. But the thing is, see, the zero taxes
We are
come
recording in our mind.
when you are actively participating in the real estate.
Okay.
So
How do you do
your
that?
spouse can actually do online courses and be involved with the general partner side so that you can log in the time they go through the reports and the investor relations and all. 750 hours, that's all you need in a year. So
And
when
where is
the
that? On your site?
Oh, no. You could do it, by becoming a partner in our business, you can. But the good part is that once your spouse becomes the real estate professional, I think it's called, right, Raj?
Yes.
Yeah, real estate professional, then husband, wife both become real estate professional. Then it's not passive income, it's active income. That's what it is. That's what it is, right there.
So
And
you have to take a license to become?
no license at all. No license, you don't have to sell property, you don't have to buy
You have
property.
to just be a partner in your company.
Yeah, partner and log in the hours, because if IRS comes after you, right, they will like to know where did you spend these 750 hours. Learning, practicing, relationship building, looking through the reports, all that, right?
So the first step is to become a partner in your business.
No.
No, you don't need to. You can be
Real estate professional,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which can have many ways to do it.
to do it. Oh yeah.
All you do there is 750 hours doing real estate.
That's it.
So you have to be a real estate professional in order to not pay a single tax.
Exactly,
And then
because
you-
all your gains then become your active gains.
So but capital gain. you
Capital
have
gain
tax.
is when we sell the property in about 4 years.
K1.
Yeah, in the K1, you write off everything there.
But on almost every LLC, any profit you make, doesn't matter whether you withdraw as a K1 or not, you have to pay tax. You cannot save it.
No, you're right. But the thing is with the depreciation effect, which I was kind of explaining, your K1 will show distribution, but when it says net loss and income profit, it's going to show minus 400,000. I'm just taking an example, right? Because we are writing out 14 million in that property.
Right.
And so it's
But
going to
you
be...
don't pass that until somebody becomes a partner in that LLC or whatever the syndication.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly, the
That
K1.
benefit only goes to the owners, the partners in the LLC, not to the investors. It goes on
70%.
70%.
70% goes to the investors, which are Class A members, like I was saying, because we pay the Class A members first before the Class B gets paid, right?
So what kind of money you take? So if we invest $100,000, just for
Yeah,
example, let's say
sure.
one of the LLCs,
Sure.
it has to be tax-paid money to start with. I mean, you can't take, from a corporation or from anywhere, it has to be a tax-paid money. So if I'm giving you a check for $100,000 investing into your company, it's a post-tax money.
Okay, you could
So
do
I
that,
already-
or you could do Roth IRA or solo Kia, any kind of.
But
So,
then I have to pay taxes when I go withdraw it.
which is okay.
Right.
Which is okay, yeah. I mean, it all depends, right? If you're paying after tax money right now, then you will have the cash coming back to you, right? Or if you do self-directed retirement plans, that's like Pensco, Equity Trust, and all these companies. They're custodian and Adventure right there. Exactly, I cannot forget. So they are the ones, they are able to control and make sure that you are putting in the right vehicle. And then the money's making money right there without paying taxes until you withdraw. 20.
As soon as we withdraw, you said you get a 70% benefit of being a part of your syndication. So if I am entitled to, I qualify to pay 40% taxes, out of my 40% taxes, would there be a 70% savings just because I'm a part of the syndication?
Okay.
We need, I think, to run down like 100,000, 8,000,
Yeah.
8,000, and then
Let me
calculate.
say, yeah, sure. Thank you. Let me go back.
Simple steps.
Yeah, simple ones, exactly. So for example, let's say we are raising X amount of money. Let's just say we are raising million.
Right.
Just for example, right? And we have 10 investors who put 100, 100, 100, right? So now we have bought the property, and then whatever the depreciation is going to be, we're going to run the LLC just like a regular LLC. The rents are coming in, income is coming in, expenses are going out, all that. Then there is a paper loss, we call it paper loss, of this, like if 1 million we raise, we could probably buy $3 or $4 million, property right there. So out of that 3 million, some is the land, but a portion will be accelerated depreciation. Whatever that number is, let's say $1 million, right? 1 million. In the first year, 700,000 will be prorated. So in other words, 700,000 divided by 10. So 70,000 minus will be going into your K1. K1. It's not going into your, yes sir, yeah. So K1, right?
So my K1 would be minus $70,000.
Yes, in the
$100,000 I paid, which I can put on my taxes and I can take the.
You cannot take actively,
So then,
but you could do it when you get 750 hours as a real estate professional. If your wife does that,
okay, so again, it comes back to the 750 hours. That's the first thing. How much does that cost?
okay. That's a good point. I would say that, it's a good point. No, it doesn't cost a penny because we don't do it.
Okay.
It's like you have to go and find how you can get involved, or your spouse, your wife.
But
can
why
get
only a spouse? Why can't we?
Oh, you can do it. Oh, totally. Yeah. But it has to be 750
Okay.
each individual.
No.
No, it's one person.
One of them.
Just one person.
One of the spouses becomes full-time real estate professional. The other,
Okay.
whatever W2 income that is, everything is wiped out.
Right. It's huge.
And can it be a LLC where like multiple people who have a real estate license, can they form a real estate group under one LLC and that LLC get the same benefits?
Oh, yes.
Can we show that on our taxes?
Okay, essentially what happens is when you're investing money, you could come individually or from your retirement plans or from LLC. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you're getting other friends, yeah, I was going to just say, because I do talk on the syndication and I wrote the book on syndication, I do want to clarify because lots of different time people do joint ventures. And they say, okay, let's just put 100 here, 100 here, 100 here, 100 here, and I will invest it. Okay, when you say I will invest it, it's a syndication. Wow. So you have to go through the laws of Securities and Exchange Commission to put together a private placement memorandum to do the whole legal work and everything. Then you are the manager of the LLC and you can do anything you want to invest it to make profit.
Like that LLC, whatever would be the income
Sure,
or tax benefits or whatever you're saying, like minus K1,
sure.
would that pass to the partners of that LLC?
Very good point. So actually from our company, from the LLC, it will be K1 coming to the entity that came in. So if you're coming through LLC, the K1 will come to your LLC,
Right.
then your CPA will take that K1 and split it into the partners.
Correct. So then we can save taxes on
If
that.
you are active in
Then I don't have to buy that $750 course. Anybody at
No,
the
no, you still have to. Oh my God.
It's like that. You just need one license. That's 750 hours.
No,
One
no,
license.
No. This is individual. You are trying to beat the, IRS will come right now.
So it has to be individual.
Yes.
So then LLC doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
If you want to save taxes, LLC doesn't work.
No, not that. Not signing joint.
So that's the main thing. So if you want to make money, but you want to save taxes.
No, see the thing is, I would love to.
Forward, please.
Yeah, no problem. The key thing is that you are making 7, 8, 9% in the stock market, fabulous. Keep it there, right? But if you're looking for equity without any hassle, right? You just put the 100,000 or 200,000 and you're sleeping over it, and then every month you are getting the returns coming into your bank account, right? So that is what it is all about. And then you are becoming an equity partner.
Equity.
Yeah,
And it's a capital.
it's a capital gain because we are doing all the work. I mean, we do a lot of hard work. Just to let you know, to take a property, it's not that what you bought, it's what you do with the property is a daily work with asset managers, with lead maintenance, with property. You know how that is. So we work together to increase the rents, decrease the expenses, so that the net operating income increases. That's where we are able to give you 50% or 60% lump sum when we sell it. So we give the money back, initial investment, plus the gain.
So
Yes,
when
sir.
you sell it, so when you're depreciating in the beginning,
Yes.
when you sell it, that depreciation gets added to the property.
You're
Whatever
right.
the taxes over time, you get that. Right?
Exactly, yeah. The depreciation kind of lowers the basis, we call it, right? So when we sell it, we have to recapture the depreciation. Yes, sir, that's right. The big thing is that, you're paying taxes when you're making a lot of money at the 40%, 47%, and then I think Florida has no income tax, right? We pay 13.42% there, California state tax. But the thing is, you're saving so much there. But the equity gain is at the capital gain, long-term capital. Yes.
So one quick question. So there's a good entry point we can comment. Like what is the exit point? Because if I want to exit out of it and like I've invested 100K, but with my like 401k or whatever I can exit out whenever it is liquid. But how liquid is like when you invest with you guys?
Exactly. Very good point. For the last 12 years, I've been asked that question, and I always ask my investors, please put it, the money you want to invest, and not to worry about it for 4 years. 4 to 5 years, because we are able to do a great job and bring the value add, right? That's I think one of the slides, it kind of shows how we take the property like over here, and then we add the RUB system. RUB system is a new terminology. It's the ratio build back system, where we ask the residents to pay for water, trash, gas, pest control. They pay electricity anyway, but lots and lots of owners don't implement the RUB system. So we look for those mismanaged properties, good ones. I mean, just to give you an idea right now, the one we are getting for $35 million one, right? They did a really good job in the front of the building. Leasing office, exercise room, they spent so much money. Custom furniture, custom this, for their cafe and everything. They ran out of money, and then they started to do renovation of the apartments inside, did small renovations, 60. And now they're saying, okay, we're gonna sell it now. So we're gonna buy it, and we're gonna put maybe $1.2 million. The differential in rent is $300 per month, per apartment. So that's like 200 units times 3, that's 6,000, right? Yeah, 600,000, my gosh. And you just divide it by the cap rate, the value of that asset is going to increase from 35 to maybe 42 million as soon as we implement our business plan. So same thing with Bentley, by the way. Bentley and Maitland, the reason we bought it for 52 million, they spent millions of dollars to renovate 296 units, all steel appliances. Everything is nice inside, new flooring, new everything. But then 28 units were the only ones left, but they had already done their 5 years of acquisition or something. They wanted to sell it. They made their money from what they bought till now, and now we will take over, which we did in July, and it's going to be worth almost $62 million within a year and a half. It's all numbers. It's all numbers because the NOI is going to be increasing. They did not increase the rents. They did the renovations inside, but they didn't want to take another year and a half to get the leases expire and then increase the rents, right? So we look for value plays. I just sold one in Atlanta. This is fun, sir. I bought there on the whim one property for $10,100,000, sold for $15,400,000 in just 2 years. In just 2 years. Then another one I bought in 1 hour because the same broker showed me. He said, Vinney, would you like to look at this one? And that I bought for $12,200,000. I'm getting calls and calls for $18 million right now in just 2 years. in just 2 years. So if we buy correctly, and I really believe, because we do a lot of statistics, a lot of analysis, we read through so many things, Tampa and Orlando and Jacksonville are going places. Right in your backyard, they are going places. I mean, what happened to Dallas and Fort Worth and everything over there? It's about 3 hours, 3 years behind with all these cranes, with expansion of freeways and the reports that the jobs are coming. That's when we like to come in. You know, we like to come in the play where before the institutions get here. Because if institutions get here, we'll be selling at that time, you know? So that's where we are right now. Right? We just see tomorrow $225 million portfolio with the one seller alone, and hopefully we'll buy that in the next 3 to 4 months or 5 months. Yes.
So in the current market, what are your cash plans? Are you focusing Class C, Class D, what type of cash pay, and also what market beside Tampa, Jacksonville?
Perfect. Good question. Very good question. As you know, like A, B, C apartments are the newest, like 2018, 17, 19. They are very, very brand new. They have already gained all the amenities that we would have added. So we never buy A class. Never buy A class, by the way. And then B class is where we are now. But when I started 12 years back, I couldn't afford much. I couldn't raise that much money either, so I started with C and C minus. I never bought D's at all, you know, the drug area and things like that and all that stuff. But C, I changed C to B's quite a few times by putting more money into the properties and making them better communities and that, and then I sold them. I bought one for 3.550, sold for 8.5 million. They're in Texas, Freeport. I sold it in January of this year, after 4 years. After 4 years. I sold NASA property, I bought there for 9.3, sold for 12.7 million, near NASA. Beautiful property, very nice.
You still don't pay any tax.
Zero taxes, zero. I know, that's the beauty of it.
That should be the workshop today.
See, the biggest thing is, I mean, I'm telling you, I have friends in California, they are asking their spouses to really put the time and log the time and everything. 750 hours is not that much in a year. It's not. But it's going to open up so much for you with, you know, writing off so much of these losses will be active losses and not passive losses. Yes. Please, ask me some more. Yes, sir, please.
I'm struggling to understand something. In the stock markets, if you get a 10% return, you probably would consider yourself lucky. So when you look at the 18 to 26% returns that you have consistently gotten, where is that delta coming from? Why is not everybody not doing enough for investing?
Okay, good point, very good point. Actually, you know, it's like you have to find a good syndicator. I'm not alone, there are a lot of people out there, but the thing is, we have limited circle, right? So I started from 0 investor to 148, by the way, I have 148 investors, and I can send out my deal in the morning, by the end of the day, I'm totally sold out, most of the time, you know? So what you're saying is correct. The thing is, first of all, we need to educate, first of all, that you can be equity partners. That's the big one. See, a lot of times people have been loaning money or cash for flipping or wholesaling, things like that, but not in constant hold for about 4 years or 3 years, because that's when you can add value. And you can add value to apartments much better than any other class in commercial, by the way. Because leasing, I looked at strip shopping centers. I said, oh my gosh, okay, let me look at it. It's a 5-year lease. I cannot increase the rents like I can do for apartments. When the lease expires or the tenant leaves or like that, I can put in, light fixture or something, or put in Nest. Nowadays the Nest is very big, and then all the USBs, plugs cost so little money. But people are able to pay for valley trash, dog parks, all these amenities. It's amazing. And they want to pay so much for amenities like the club. They don't want to go to LA Fitness. They want a nice club right there, 24 hours, they can just come and enjoy. So those things I can do in apartments by inching it up higher and higher and higher and higher. I was just sharing with somebody during the last presentation I gave today in Tampa. I was saying over there that I just came from Princeton Park, the one we are buying now, and there, people have been living there for 8 years, 9 years. They bumped the rent by $300. They said, no problem. Yeah, we'll pay. Oh my God. So they were waiting for the management to increase the rents, but the management didn't increase it. They had 98% occupancy. Whenever there is 98% occupancy, it means you are the cheapest. Or you need to increase rents. That's the key factor, you know. So mismanaged properties are there, and which people like, you know, who know them, they can come, put their business plan in place, and then increase them. Yes, sir.
The second part of the question is that, as you said, there's many syndicators out there, and as somebody who's going to come into the real estate market and may not have invested in the past, is there a neutral third party where you can go and say, just like you go to the stock market and say, here's a 5-year return for this particular bond versus this particular stock, etc., etc. So where do you go to judge the credibility of a syndicator A versus B?
Very good point. Very good point. Very good question, actually. I would say definitely, you want to have several questions written out, because the big thing is their track record, when they started, who are the principals, and what kind of returns they've gotten, and what areas are they investing in. See, that's a big one. You need to feel comfortable about the area, because you cannot just give your money, for somewhere that you don't really think is the right place to put it, right? So the big thing is I don't think there is a table of all the syndicators or like that, but you have to kind of Google some, maybe locally here.
Talk to the existing investors.
Existing investors, surely. Perfect, perfect. Like in your circle, you may like to find out, have you invested with so and so? I never had a website until, I think, 6 years later, 6 or 7 years later. I never had a website. From 0 investor, I grew to 89 investors, and then to 102, without any website, without any exposure. All my friends who were sending me the money, they were telling their friends and their friends and their friends. That's how it all started, and they just kept on believing. Then their children, their uncles, their aunts, their brothers, their sisters. So that's how my whole network has become now, under 48, And some family just invested $700,000 with me in one deal, in Bentley. I just put down for Princeton Park $200,000 because they said, Vinney, please put us down too. I just had a dinner with them at their home. They said, did you put us down for 600 or no? I said, you just put 700. You don't want to put any more so quickly. No, we talked to the family. You're going to put 600 right there. You're going to kick somebody out. That's what they said. I said, I'm sold out. They said, no, you got to put us in. We have been working with you for so long. Yes, sir.
So you only have 148 investors right now?
Yes, sir.
So you have a property you're in.